Let's look at this question on vectors. Here, the points P, and these are at 7, 5, Q, 12, 15, and R, 16, 5, are vertices of a triangle PQR. You must express OP, OQ, and OR as column matrices. What that means is that you must express them in this form, X, Y. Now, we first of all want to take a look at what the graph looks like. Let's open up our graph plotter. It's usually a good thing it's usually helpful just to get an idea what the graph looks like. Alright? Alright, so we know that we have P at 7, 5. See that the values go all the way to 15 and up to 16. So let's see what we have here. Let me make my graph plotter a bit larger. Zoom in a little bit. Alright, so here, we'd have to move up a bit with this. We go up to, it goes up to what? 16. Alright, so here now, what happens? We know that 7, 5 OP, right? We wouldn't really need our graph plotter yet, but we know that 7, 5, we know that OP, would say, is really 7, 5 like this. OQ would be at 12, 15. And OR would be 16, 5. But let's look back at our graph because we want a visual representation of what our graph is. OP 7, 5. We're going to put in a line. OP, O is the origin, and it goes to 7 horizontally in the X direction and 5 in the Y direction, which is here. I'm going to make my OP thicker than it is here. So P would end up here. OQ now. For OQ, start here at O. 12 to in the X direction and 15 in the Y direction. So it's right up here. I'm going to make this line thicker as well. What's happening here? Alright. This was a point that I didn't want. Let's delete that. And then OR. is 16.5. So OR goes out to 16 in the x direction and 5 in the y direction. Okay. Let me make OR thicker as well. So we have our graph. So you have OP75 means you go 7 in the x direction, 5 in the y direction. OQ is 12, 15, so it's 12 in the x direction and 15 upwards in the y direction. OR 16, 5, 16x 5 in the y direction because it's in the form x, y like this. The next thing is you must express PQ, QR, and RP as column matrices. Let's go back to our graph. So it's PQ. What I'm going to do now is have my lines here go thinner as they originally were, because I'm going to be highlighting other lines. Alright, now what we want are PQ. Remember, P is here. In fact, let me change the letters on this. What we have is O. This line segment, we call it OP. O. It doesn't allow us to rename it like that. It says redefinition failed. Alright, let's cancel that. So here PQ, remember this here is P and this is Q. So if we go from P to Q, what that would mean, we're going from here to here. Alright, and we're going to have our lines thicker. So this is from P to Q, right? So we're going from P to Q here. Remember now, this would be our P and this Q right up here. Then, and in fact, let me put in the letters that they represent. This is my letter P. Okay, so P is here. I want P to be adjusted. how do I adjust the size of P? I don't see anything here that allows me to adjust the size of the letter P at all. So let's keep it there. This is Q up here. So let me put my Q here. P, Q, all right. It's my text. I'll have it bold. Okay. I can adjust it. Make it large. Nice. So this is my Q. Medium. And then this is P. I'll make it medium as well. Good. So this is P, Q, and R would be out here. So let's put R right here. Now, for PQ, all right, P from P to Q would be a vector addition. But as I said before, it's much easier when you can have a visual representation of what it is that you're doing. So from P to Q, you remember that when you add two vectors, right, you have the vector from P to Q going this way, but you form a triangle. It's really you're adding OP and OQ. You form a triangle so that the directions that you follow and the two sides follow each other but oppose that of the it opposes that of the resultant vector. PQ will be the resultant vector. So you're going up from P to Q. What you're really doing is adding PO and OP. Now notice you're going up from P to Q, but if you go down from P to O, you would be opposing the movement of P to Q. And then you go from O to Q, also opposing the movement from P to Q. Alright? So it's like you have the arrows. It's like you have arrows going this way and this way. Alright? Now, let's remove those things that we did a while ago. So it's PO plus OQ. So PQ is PO plus OQ. So here now, this was PQ. What you have here is O, P, and Q. So PQ is going this way. The arrows on the arrows on here, the next side is going down, and the arrows here going up. So basically, it's like you're saying you're going this way from PQ. If you're going down, you'll be following around the triangle. Alright? But you're not supposed to follow the resultant. The resultant will be PQ, the answer. What you do is oppose. So you go this way, and PO and OQ, but you will be opposing PQ on the triangle. Right? So you're adding two vectors to get this, the resultant. Let me make it thick. The resultant, or the answer, would be PQ, but the two vectors that you're adding, they're supposed to oppose the resultant going around the triangle. So here now, you can see that PQ is equal to PO plus OQ. Now, here, what you see is that PO is the opposite of OP, and OP was 7,5. So you're going to add this. So you're going to say -7, -5, since it's the inverse vector of OP, plus OQ now. OQ is 12, 15. So what you have, -7 plus 12, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's going to be 5, and -5 plus 15 is 10. So OP would be 5, 10. Now let's go back to our graph plotter. You see, if you're going, oh my, it's PQ. I made a mistake here. I'm putting OP, it's not OP, it's PQ. PQ is equal to 5, 10. Alright, back to our graph plotter now. That's this opening up here. I don't want this. Alright, notice if you go from P to Q, it's the same as going across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to the right, and then from 5 up to 15 is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you could have just used the graph which you plotted to get the 5, 10. Alright? So that's OP. Now what about OQ? How would that go? If you're looking at OQ, QR. Why did I say OQ? It's QR. We want to look at QR and see how that would go. Alright? So we have QR. Now what is QR? QR would be a line, or no? It's a line that I want. QR would be a line coming from here. Let me try that again. Yes, to here. That's QR. Alright? Now, let me just make some adjustment here. I want my line to be thicker than this. Good. QR. Now, going from Q down to R would be like saying QR is equal to QO plus OR. If we represent it here like this, this is our line QR, this is OQ and OR from what we saw a while ago. Alright, so this is Q, this is R, this is O. So going from Q to R, you end up the same place as going from Q to O, then O to R. So let's look at the graph itself. You can see that is the same thing. Let me just make an adjustment here. What's up here? Good. You can, let me take these things off. You can see going from Q to R, you could have said you're going across 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 to the right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down. It looks like 4, 10. But let's see what will happen. QR is equal to QO plus OR. So what I'm saying here, going from Q to R like this, you end up the same place as going from Q to O, then O to R. So here, QR would be the inverse of OQ. OQ was 12, 15, so QR would be negative 12, negative 15, plus OR. OR is 16, 5, 16, 5. So here, negative 12 plus 4. Negative 12 plus 16 would be 4. Negative 15 plus 5 would be negative 10. So we get the same thing. Oh, this was negative 10. Why did I write 10? It would be negative 10 because what happened here is that we would move 4 to the right and 10 down, so it's negative 10. Alright, so here now, it's 4, negative 10. So far, what I have is that, let me just write these things down over here so that we don't lose them. OP is 7.5. OQ is 12.15. OR is 16.5. Then we know that PQ is 5.10. We know that QR is 4, negative 10. Alright, now we're going to look at PR next. But this video has been long enough. Let us break this video and see RP, and look at RP in another video. So I will see you then.